Hi guys, it's April, and I have a book review for you. So I will do this book review the same way I do all of my other book reviews. I will have the non-spoiler section up front, followed by the spoiled word dump that is my brain, because that's just how I am. But I'll let you know when that transition happens, just in case you don't want to spoil yourself and you're going to want to go read this book, because I can promise you that you are going to want to go read this book. Spoilers. For my review, not the book. Yeah. The Cure for Dreaming by Kat Winters is the story of a young girl, Olivia Mead, who lives in the 1900s in Oregon. She is just on the cusp of the suffragette movement, so she feels the tension between women who want rights and men who don't want them to have rights. For her birthday, she goes with her friend to see a hypnotist, where she is then hypnotized to a point where the guy can literally stand on her body and she just doesn't even know. But that same day, hours earlier, Olivia had been caught at a suffragette movement, and when her father hears about both the movement and the hypnotist, he decides to hire the hypnotist to erase away all of the unfeminine thoughts in Olivia's brain. Of course, things go not at all as you would expect, and Olivia starts to see the world as it actually is. This book mostly deals with Olivia trying to find her voice in a world that doesn't necessarily want her to have a voice, along with all of the struggles she is having with her father, and how she can still find who she is and be what she wants to be. No punches are pulled in this book at all. There were points where I was very uncomfortable reading it and the anxiety level was extremely real, but I think the way that Kat Winter goes about telling the story and the way she concludes the story and leaves the story, it was perfect for what it needed to be. It has a lot of things all meshed up in this short little tiny book, and I really truly enjoyed it, because not only did you have this very strong female character who is very flawed at the same time of being strong. She's a character who is just starting to find her strength. And by the end of the book, you're really rooting for her. And I think it's the way that Kat Winters writes characters like this that I just connect to so very well. So I highly recommend this book for anyone who is very interested in historical fiction, but also likes a little bit of a supernatural twist. I won't necessarily tell you what that supernatural twist is, but I truly enjoyed this book, and I highly recommend that you pick it up. Now, this is a section in which I just go on and I don't censor myself, because sometimes I just need to get words out. So if you haven't read the book, I highly recommend that you go and read the book. Maybe leave a comment down below that you were going to read the book, because I'm going to gush with you later. If you have read the book or you don't care about spoiling yourself, welcome. These are my words. Honestly, truly, I probably don't have a lot of words at this point, because I think this needs to be a book that just needs to be experienced. And through that experience, you've got all these ups and downs, and oh my gosh, her father, I don't, How can you claim to love someone while at the same time not wanting them to be who they are? And I know there is a ton of people out in the world and a ton of situations where that is extremely the case, but it is hard to sit here and watch it unfolding, and I'm glad she got out of that situation, because that was not going to end well at all. And I do like where the story ended. It left on a positive note, but it also left the story completely open. There was this sense of euphoria and just endless possibilities. And I think that is what I liked about this story the most. You went from this very dark place of living under her father's very oppressive household that she didn't necessarily recognize until all this stuff started to roll out. And then in the middle, you were very uncomfortable because you were seeing it all and wanting her to get out of the situation. And then she got out of the situation, but at the same time, she also found her own strength. And now she is going to go out into the world. I did like the subtle hints of romance in there, but the fact that she still wants to discover who she is without anybody else, I approve. I approve, I approve, I approve, I approve. I can't believe it has taken me this long to read this book. I believe Kayla over at Kayla Rain recommended this book maybe 4 or 5 years ago on her channel at the very beginning, and I had it on my list. Going back on my Goodreads and seeing the chronological events of what happened to this book on my bookshelves is kind of hilarious. But the fact that I had it on my list, 2015, something like that, I purchased this 2016, and then it just sat there. Why did it just sit there? And now I highly recommend this book, and so far it is one of my favorites of 2019, because it is just It is beautiful and I loved it. Tell me down below what your thoughts are on this read because I want to know. I need to talk to people and I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.